Hello everybody, and welcome to our second episode in our quest to, well, play the Pokemon game. I got started last time with Pokemon Red since Red and Blue came out first, and today we're moving on to the next one in the series to come out, which was Pokemon Yellow. Released anywhere between a handful of months or a couple of years after the original, depending where you live, this was designed as a variation of the originals and, let's be honest, to cash in on the success of the anime series. Now, I'm going to be doing this a little differently this time around. Instead of going through every single little bit of the game, which there is a lot, I will focus more on what is different about this one and gloss over the stuff we've done before. Many elements of this game are identical to Red and Blue, and I already have a Red video. It would be very unnecessary to go over all of it again. We're in now, and you can already see the slight difference. Colour! This is not a colour game like I would think of a colour game, but it does have colours, with every town having its own unique one. As before, we get to the Pallet Town, but the first difference is that Oak stumbles across and then catches a Pikachu. Then we head back to his lab, and our rival, who I've named Twat this time because that's another old name I've used, steals the last one, which means we're stuck with Pikachu. Oh well. We do the trainer battle and lose, but it doesn't really matter. This is one battle we can lose. This is when we learn that Pikachu doesn't want to be in the Pokeball and will be out with us, so he is. We can also talk to him to see how he feels, but that's really all it gives us. As you can see right now, he's not a fan, but that will change. From here, it was all ordinary stuff. We went to Veridian City, got the parcel, brought it back, got the Pokedex, and now we're assembling a team. Specifically, I got a Pidgey, Rattata, Nidoran female and Nidoran male for the team. Now is probably a good time to mention that really one of the biggest changes to this game was a change in a lot of the Pokemon pixel art, or specifically just the view from the front, to bring them more in line with the anime and what we would now think the Pokemon look like. It's a massive improvement because while some of the old sprite designs are really good, there's some that are a little odd and don't quite look right now. I can't help but think of Chonky Pikachu, for example. It doesn't quite look like that now. Moving on, we head into and through Veridian Forest, picking up a Caterpie and evolving it into a Metapod. Then we make our way to Pewter City, which is really now a stone grey city. After a bit of grinding, which I am definitely skipping over, we have done far too much of that in this game and the last one. I'm not talking about it again. We head to the gym. The Brock design has been adjusted to fit in with the anime, but beyond that, no real change. Brock is done, first badge is ours. Now we head into our next challenge, Mount Moon. You know how I always hated the mountain/underground areas in Red? I feel exactly the same now doing them in Yellow. We got through it, picked up a fossil. I went for the Omanyte one for the sake of variety. The only real difference is Team Rocket, as in Jesse and James Team Rocket. They make a few appearances and they're not super hard, but they are fun to see. Then we head from there and straight into a very blue Cerulean City. Now another thing this game has, which as a Pokemon fan I love, is access to all three starter Pokemon, and that begins here. There is a Pokemon orphanage with a Bulbasaur that they want a very good trainer to adopt, similar to the anime. To get that, I need to make Pikachu very happy. Turns out you can glitch it by just giving him potions when he doesn't need it, so I did that. I talked to her, and boom, we have a Bulbasaur. Having that Bulbasaur meant we need to train it, so we did, against Twat and others on the Nugget bridge. Getting to the other side of that was great because it got us our second starter, Charmander. Once more, it's a bit like an anime, you get him from a bad trainer. Not as bad as the anime version, but still. Top it off, also got an Ivysaur. Wouldn't normally in this one go through the level up, but I'm quite proud of how quick I got that. Did Charmeleon not long after either. Anyway, with that done, we went to Bill and we got our SS and ticket. No real difference here except Pikachu's part of the conversation. With that done, we head to Cerulean City to fight Misty. Like Brock, Misty's appearance is much closer to our anime one and she was easily beaten. With her done, off to Vermillion City. We really are getting through this fast, huh? Well, it wasn't fast for me when I did it, I can assure you, but I don't need to recap the same stuff we've done before. I mean, getting to Vermillion City, for example, was the same as it was before, as was the SS and stuff. It's fun to be here in Vermillion City and doing this stuff, but still, once I grinded my way through all the local trainers, it's time to head to Vermillion City Gym. Considering the randomness of this puzzle, this being the second time I've done this recently does not make the experience any easier. Fortunately I got lucky and I got to the Lieutenant Surge pretty quick. His look is the same, but the big difference is he only has a Raichu now, like the anime. With it done though, we have a third badge, and after that we get a truly unique reward. We go and talk to Officer... It's not Officer Jenny. I can't remember. The officer, and get a Squirtle. Our grinding continues as we head up to Cerulean City and then east towards the rock tunnels. I don't really have anything to say about the rock tunnels other than my disdain towards caves in this game has not changed a single bit. It is fun when I finally get to the violently purple Lavender town, though as I currently have nothing I can do here, I promptly leave. That's because the next place we're going to head to is Celadon City. I always like this place, partially because of the shops and partially because once you beat the gym, it's the halfway point. Speaking of beating the gym, let's go and do that. If Erica has been changed at all from the original game, I didn't notice. We got her beat and got that 4th badge. Just like that, we're halfway done. However, we are not done with Celadon, because of course we have to go and deal with Team Rocket in their hideout. As with a lot of things Team Rocket based, there's no real differences here except for the inclusion of Jesse and James, who weirdly are never actually referred to by those names. Despite the fact that you can clearly see them, they're always just referenced as Team Rocket. With them beaten, we go and take down Giovanni, and that of course gets us the Sylph Scope. That means we can go to Pokemon Tower, we do, taking down Twat and working our way through the tower itself. I really don't like fighting ghost Pokemon, so I'm not a fan of this place. As always though, we beat the Marowak, head on up, but instead of fighting several grunts, it's Jesse and James again. These dudes don't take a hint, do they? I guess again, it's like the anime. We get the Pokeflute, which will be useful later, but for now we're going to go on and fight Team Rocket yet again. We've been doing a lot of that right now, haven't we? We head over to Saffron City, a place where we will not be doing the gym yet, because seriously, for reasons I don't know, Sabrina's Pokemon are all at level 50 now. I don't know why. Just because we can't do that yet though, doesn't mean we can't do the rest of this very yellow place. I start with the Fighting Dojo, taking Hitmonlee this time, just because I had Hitmonchan the last time. The other big thing we can do here is Sylph Co. Would you believe it's Team Rocket again? They keep popping up, don't they? Ultimately though, we're in the same situation with that as we were with every other Team Rocket place we've done so far. It's basically exactly the same, but Jesse and James have been thrown into the mix for a one-off battle as well. Feels almost a shame we didn't do more with them. Anyway, once we've beaten Giovanni yet again, we get ourselves a Master Ball and then promptly leave. As I said before, we can't beat Sabrina right now, so we'll come back. For now, we'll go and quickly get a Snorlax, as you do in life. I also make a point to get the Fly HM, which is very handy and which I completely missed in my red playthrough. It was nice to actually get it this time. I didn't want to make that mistake twice. Now it's simply the Cycle Path, which is probably my least favourite path in this game. It's a nice and quick one to get down, but God forbid you forget anything and have to go back up, because that will take forever. Annoying as it may be though, we eventually get through it and head over to Fuschia City. Fuschia City. Here we have a boss we can beat, although of course we'll do that after more grinding. Grinding done, and I head, well, not to the gym, but to the Safari Zone. Not too concerned about getting Pokemon here, but as this leads us to getting both Surf and Strength, we'll do it. Once that's done, we head to Fuschia City Gym, the Poison Gym with Koga. The invisible walls puzzle in this game never made much sense to me, as it's really obvious and still doesn't. Koga was easy though, and that's badge 5. No mucking around here, we're heading straight to badge 6. Rather than going via fly, I go the other route I could have gone to get here, which the reason I'm doing that is because there's a lot of trainer battles here which can help get us stronger for the gym. Once I get there, Sabrina is still way stronger than us, but thankfully we have all our Pokemon fully evolved, so even though she is stronger, we've got lots of really strong moves that we can focus on, and it's enough to take her down. That's badge 6. Badge 7 will require Cinnibar Island, but we have to work to get there. Using Surf, we head into the seas and battle our way through, admittedly, a bunch of rather easy Pokemon trainers, and then we get to the Seafoam Caves. The caves are, well, another annoying set of caves, but with a twist. We have to push boulders into holes to block running water so we can leave, so basically it's more annoying. Also, we can get Articuno. Articuno handed me my first game over when I played this for Red, and that's exactly what happened with this as well. As with Red, he was a nightmare to get, and I nearly gave up on him. Seriously, this was my last attempt on the final Pokemon in my party. I was so close to giving up, but we got him. With that bastard done, it's time to get out of the cave and make our way over to Cinnibar Island. Once there, we take a quick trip to the museum to revive our fossils that we have, getting an Omelite and an Aerodactyl. To be honest, I'm not going to use them, but I just wanted to do it. With them done, we head to Pokemon Tower. This is where Mewtwo escapes from, and it's also a good spot for grinding, but we're not here for either of those reasons. We're just here to get the key to the gym, and we do so. Now we head into the gym. We have the ability to skip all the training and going right to Blaine by answering quiz questions, but here's the thing, the trainers are good for grinding, so naturally I intentionally answered them all wrong. Seriously, some would have been very, very hard to get wrong without doing it on purpose. In terms of Blaine himself, I was a little disappointed. Brock and Misty had their looks changed, Surge had his Pokemon changed, and yet Blaine still doesn't have his Magmar. Missed opportunity to make another anime reference. In fact, from here on out, there aren't really any anime references I find. First, we head from Cinnibar to Palatown, from there to Veridian, where the final gym is. Giovanni's of course waiting for us. He's a tough one, but we take him down, and that's it, final badge. Just the Elite Four to go. On the way, we have a quick battle with Twat, as you do, and head our way to the Victory Road. We have all the badges, so we get through no problem, but the cave takes some time. There's also a Moltres there, but with a Master Ball he's easily taken care of. Might as well use it now, not going to need it for anything else. With that done, we're at the Indigo Plateau, and it's time to fight the Elite Four. And get our ass handed to us. I thought I was strong enough, but all evidence suggests otherwise. So I have a simple plan, to go broke. Specifically to use the metric ton of money that I have to get every possible healing item I could need, and then take all that with me to the Elite Four to take them down. Let's go. Lorelei was first. She managed to take down my Pikachu, but beyond that we can defeat her. Bruno is next, but a mix of Blastoise and Pidgeot is enough to defeat his rock and fighting Pokemon. Agatha is always a challenge, since one thing my team lacks is Psychic, but we eventually take her down. Finally, it was Blaine who I expected to be a challenge, and I was right. Was he enough of a challenge to beat us? Oh no. With him done, it's the final battle, Mr. Twat. I was concerned because he had a massive level advantage, but we used type advantage to, our advantage. Just as we did in red, which was just as effective as it was in red too. With him beaten, we're done. Professor Oak comes and congratulates us, adds us to the database of Elite Four winners, and well, that's the game done. So, Pokemon Yellow, how did I find it? Well, firstly, I was happy to beat this because unlike Red, I never actually finished this as a kid. It was nice to go back and get it done. However, was it worth doing for someone who's already beaten Red and Blue? Not really. It was a fun game, of course, and the changes to bring it in line with the anime were also nice to see. But I don't think it's worth it for most people, if they're not making a video, to devote an additional 30 hours to. So I would recommend this game, but I'd only recommend it if you're a big fan of the anime, or you haven't done Red and Blue yet, since there's not a ton of differences. I still had fun though. And that was Pokemon Yellow. As always with this franchise, I'll be taking a break from Pokemon for a bit and doing some other long form videos. I need a break after over 30 hours of it. But we will eventually return with, shockingly, a Pokemon game that was not on the Game Boy. As for my next long form video, well, that will be from a different franchise. A franchise that dates back even to before World War II. I'll see you then.